What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Bria and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Monday. Hopefully you had a fabulous weekend. Maybe you are still off today, having yourself a fabulous day off, or maybe you're at work listening to us. Either way, happy to be back on this Monday. We are coming to you live from the comfort of our own homes. Francesca, how are we doing this morning?
I think we were doing great. And this morning, nothing is worse than, first of all, not TMI, but TMI. Like we're just clearly we're synced up right now.
Yeah, we are synced up.
We're synced up, but we just
it happens.
It happens, and we experience different symptoms. Like you get really bad cramps.
Mm-hmm.
I get really bad migraines.
Mm-hmm.
And we just got slapped in the face with it this morning. Like,
yeah,
nothing's worse than waking up in the morning to a migraine. Like, not even like you wake up and you feel okay and gradually the migraine comes on. It's like my alarm went off and I went, oh my God. Like, it was like, my head is just, I couldn't even open my eyes. It's not even that bright in my room. But I was like, the light, turn it off. Like,
right. It's like when you get a migraine gradually, you feel like you could stop it in its tracks, right?
Yes.
Like you're going to drink a ton of water. You're going to take some medicine. You're going to be on it. You're going to put some stuff on your head. Everything, you could stop it in its tracks, or at least maintain it in its tracks. And you usually can't stop a migraine.
Yeah.
You wake up with a migraine and it's full force.
It's full force.
There's nothing worse. So I feel for you.
Force.
I feel sorry that happened to you this morning on a Monday morning.
I know, on a Monday morning.
So rude.
I'm still not I'm not drinking. It's like, come on, I gotta wake up with a headache. Like,
right. Incredibly rude.
Yeah, I'm not. No booze involved.
Maybe if you broke dry January, it'd be like a punishment, but you didn't even do that.
Right, exactly. I've been so good. And I was so social this weekend, and I still went out and did stuff and did it without having one sip. I was so proud of myself. And this is how I'm being rewarded.
Disgusting.
And I'm swollen as hell. I got to stick my face in the freezer.
Sometimes that feels really good though. Like getting like some ice cold water on your face.
No,
at first it's awful, but afterwards you're like, whoa, I am recharged.
I got a ice roller in my freezer. That's I honestly might sit here and do that for a second while we're recording.
You could do that because I'll talk about my weekend. I went, not just me, Marty and I went to a little spa getaway from Thursday to Saturday morning. That was one of his Christmas gifts to me, was like a little cute little adorable spa getaway in Rhinebeck, New York, which is such a cute little town. I had never been there before. So I was really excited to go. They have cute little shops, cute little restaurants. And of course, Hillary Burton Morgan, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and Paul Rudd's candy shop, Samuel's Sweet Shop. So that is in the cute little town, just steps away from where we were staying.
That was the first thing I said to you when you told me what the location. I get right back. I was like, that's where the candy shop is.
It was like such a cute, like 2 days, really relaxing. But I got some stuff from, so if you're watching on YouTube, I'm sorry, once again, visual, but I wanted to show some of the stuff that I bought because Marty and I were going to do like a review of the candy because we got stuff that we like actually really liked. And then we got some funky things.
New stuff.
We already ate the things we really wanted. We couldn't hold out, but there are some funky things that we were like, we just have to buy this and try. This isn't necessarily funky. I just know, Fran, that Warheads are like your favorite candy. So these are Warhead jelly beans.
Jelly beans?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I thought I've seen every version of Warheads. I've never seen those.
I'll bring these in tomorrow for you to try because there's still a lot left. My review on this so far is that they need to be a little bit more sour. They immediately go like, it's kind of like sour, then really sweet. Like they're, not sour enough for me. Like I like that good kick.
Yeah.
But this was good. Now I have not tried the other things in this bag, but we saw this and I was like, we have to try this. But I'm like really grossed out by it. Okay. It's never a candy I would buy. It was just funny that it was there.
Okay.
It's this It's mac and cheese, Oscar Mayer hot dog, and then pickles.
Okay,
Candy.
but is it like it just
It's
looks
gummy.
like it?
Now, yes, it's the shape. So like,
Right.
you know how
It's
like a
not the
Krabby
flavor.
Patty, I don't know if it's the flavor. That's what we have yet to figure out. If this has a cheesy flavor,
Right.
or if this has a pickly flavor. I would think not.
What does the bottom corner say? Fruit
flavored gummy candy. Oh,
okay. So it's definitely it's there's no way. It's probably like the mac and cheese probably tastes like orange.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, just the thought of it is kind of gross though, right?
But it
Look
is
at it.
that's a weird sensory thing because it's telling you one thing, but it's tasting like another.
Right. Like I was like, is this gonna taste cheesy?
Yeah,
this gonna taste like a pickle? So that was
I would be down if it tasted like a pickle.
Yeah,
You lost the mac and cheese, you lost me, but that's cute.
This candy taco. I have to like open it up so you could see the inside more, but it has like all the contents.
Is it also gummy?
This is also gummy, like a gummy shell, gummy lettuce, gummy like beef.
Gummy shell.
I'm just a sucker for gummy things
Clearly.
that are just not what they're supposed to be. And then that was a really like the last of the funky stuff. Obviously, the Hubba Bubba sour tape, which is just like brings you back to being a kid.
Brings you back.
This is like some of the best stuff there is.
The amount of packs of that I went through, and you just would put like a disgusting amount in your mouth at one time.
Right. And it like just makes your mouth like feel all gross but blue, but the initial bite is so good.
Yes.
So we got some of that. And then I got this is like, you know, they make their own chocolates there.
Yeah.
So we had a s'mores chocolate that was delicious. Like one of Marty's favorite things is just s'mores in general, which who doesn't love s'mores? It's marshmallow, chocolate, graham cracker, all the best things. So we had one of their like s'mores things, which was really good. Chocolate covered Oreos, which was really good. And then, like I said, I'm a sucker for gummy stuff. So I had to try their chocolate covered gummy bears. Now, I feel like I am going to save these to make an ice cream sundae. Like I think that I had one solo and the gummy tastes good and the chocolate tastes good together as like just a pop in the mouth. I'm not sure about it, but then I thought, how delicious would these be for an ice cream sundae? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that was my little trip to the candy shop, and of course, the good stuff, the sour strips.
I was gonna say,
you can tell, we like sour.
I was like, there has to be some sour straws in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, we ate, you know, the stuff that we were really excited about.
The sour straws are something that I will just never kick. Like it's something that I will go into any candy store and buy. Honestly, I want to go back to, where were we? Dallas?
We were in Dallas. Yeah, that candy store
was so, God, I just love a good old school candy store.
Yeah.
And it just takes me back. There was like the sour straws. Especially high school into like early years of college, I would just order stuff. Like I had my dorm, freshman year dorm, like I ordered sour straws in bulk, which I didn't even realize. Like, honestly, disgusting. I didn't even realize how big it was when it came. But you know the plastic storage containers that you would like keep shoes in? Like it delivered in that. Like that's
oh my God.
Like, it was so many.
But honestly,
I don't think I ever finished it, but it was just like, hey, have a couple straws. It's just
worth it to have. And also, I feel like when you go away to college, like your first semester, your parents absolutely like packed up the snacks.
Yeah.
Like the Easy Mac, like all of that, the candy.
It was also like I could just order stuff and be like, my mom's not here to tell me not to eat this.
Not to eat the candy. Yeah. Sour straws are they're just one of the best.
They
and
really
then,
are.
You know what really brings me back? Obviously, they had, you know, all those little things in there. And I was like intimidated about, you know, you walk into a candy store and you're intimidated by the choices because you want to buy everything. You're like, I want it all.
Yeah.
I used to love.
I want it all.
I want it. You know that I want it. I used to love the dots. like that you like peel off the paper, which taste like nothing. They taste like paper.
Yeah.
But they were just like fun to rip off the paper.
Yeah, which that's one that's just like the act of eating them is fun.
Right. Yeah. Some candy is just the act of and not really the taste.
That's like the bracelets and like all that stuff. Like that stuff just tastes like chalk.
Right, exactly. But it was so cute. Such a cute little town. I'm really, really happy that we got to do that.
How are the restaurants?
So cute. So we went to two. We ended up not eating in the place we were staying at because there were so many cute restaurants in the town, and it was just fun to walk around. We went to a really pretty cute restaurant called Pretty to Think So, which had like great drinks, like great vibe in there. Really good food. I had like this butternut squash, like bread. Like I love anything butternut squash, so that was delicious.
Yum.
As like an appetizer, and then like a twice baked potato, which I love a baked potato, but there's something special about a twice baked potato, like truffle, the whole thing. That was delicious. And then we went to the next night an amazing Mexican food place. This place called Gabby's. Delicious. I had these chimichangas. I've never had a chimichanga before. But these chimichangas, look at this. This is like, I had to take a picture of it because I just thought it was perfection with the rice and the beans. The plate just was perfection to me.
Oh yeah. Yep. Like, that's a good plate.
With the chips and the salsa and the guac.
Yeah, good portions.
Pomegranate.
Do you have a margarita?
Pomegranate, yes.
Fuck, man. Let me tell you something. I'm feeling it now. I'm feeling it now.
Like you want a good drink?
Yeah. Like I really, the first week I was like, this is going to be a breeze. And now I feel like I'm not necessarily missing out on stuff because I did go, like I went out on Saturday and Sunday afternoon. Like Sunday I had a birthday party, was there. I've never had more sparkling water in my life. We went to a brewery on Sunday in Brooklyn, and Joe and I were just like, they had the Topo Chico glass bottles, which
it's good water.
I mean, it's good.
We were tasty water.
We were pumped. Like Joe came back from the bar, and I was like, "Oh, the Topo Chicos, yeah, keep them coming.
Of course, another round.
Keep them coming." So we like had a billion of them, but
that much water, and you woke up with a migraine.
I know. It's like really. I was like, did I have too much? Like, did I have too?
Yeah, maybe you had too much water.
Maybe too much. But like my friends went out to dinner Friday night and they were like, oh, we have one more spot. And they were going to this steakhouse, martinis. Like that was their plan for the evening. I was like, guys, I know where I have the restraint and I know where I don't. And me watching the three of you drink martinis with your steaks and I'm just sitting there. No, I'm like, I can't do it. I'm sorry. Like, enjoy your dinner. I can't come. Like I there's some things that I can hold myself back on. And I was like, I know my limits and I will order a martini with you guys.
That's so funny. You do love, you really appreciate a good martini.
Yes. And
like you really do appreciate a good cocktail.
They were specifically going to this place for a good martini. Like they were like, we've heard that this place has fantastic martinis. And I was like, I can't come.
Yeah. Please find me in February. We did make dinner plans with somebody on February 1st.
Yeah.
Specifically, you were like, listen, February, like I need to have a cocktail at this dinner. So please, can we wait till February 1st? And all parties were like, yes.
February 1st is a Thursday. So I'm like, great. I can roll right into the weekend. Yeah, no, I'm excited for that. But no, I will say, like, for anybody, I've never really done it a full month. And of course we're only halfway through, but even just being halfway through, I feel good. So for all the people out there that do it for the whole month, kudos to you. It is, it seems like a walk in the park, but it's not, it's really not. And like, you still want to like see your friends and like do stuff. You don't want to just like sit at home for a month straight. So.
Right. Because even if you're not a heavy drinker, right? Like, when you go out, like maybe you have one drink or two drinks, that, like, I think in your head, you're like, easy, I can do this. But then when you're in the social spot, like setting, and you don't even have that one drink to order, then I think that's what makes it harder, right?
Definitely. It definitely is. And it's just it's a good lesson in also like in the future being able to keep it, keep it cool. Like you don't have to go out and have a million drinks and go home. Like it's not, that's an exaggeration, but you know what I'm saying?
Maybe you won't judge me in the future then for what was the nickname you were calling me? Two sip Tony. Oh, that's
we called my grandpa that. Two drink Tony. No, I two drink Ria for a second there. Yes. It just depends. It
depends on the night.
Yeah.
Depends on the setting.
Night. Depends on the feeling.
It depends on the vibe. Always.
Yeah. Power getting through it. And I was still having a good time, but there is a time when you kind of like, especially if you Joe, like there was a time when Joe and I we look at each other and everybody obviously it's getting later in the night. Everybody's starting to feel it. And we're like, okay, time. Good night, everybody.
Right. And there's that feeling when you're sober watching other people. And if you were not sober, you would be like enjoying their presence and having a really great time. But you start to notice things more when you're not in the state and you're like, all right, I'm just going to remove myself from the situation.
Completely. But, no, it was a lovely weekend and time to have another week.
Yeah. Let's get back at it. We
have
some things to talk about, some shows to discuss. Somebody watched somebody has a long list for their weekly watch report.
Somebody's really excited about the TV they watched.
I felt like I watched a lot of good things in this past week. Okay. So that's why I'm excited.
Go through the topics. I'm gonna grab that ice roller for a second. Okay. So go through the topics. I'll BRB.
All right. We're going to be talking about the Critics' Choice Awards that happened last night. It is award show season in full swing. There's always going to be something to talk about from these award shows. Taylor Swift was having a blast at the Chiefs game Saturday night. We saw all the content that came from that. Dua Lipa and Callum Turner are apparently allegedly dating. They were seen kissing, having a good night out, and they're probably seeing each other. And Sabrina Carpenter and Barry Keoghan were seen out together for the second time. So that has people speculating about their relationship. Then we have weekly watch report. So we are going to get into it, starting off the topics, and Fran will be back with her ice roller. All right. See you guys on the other side when we talk about the topics. We've all been there when you're trying to fit everything in a bag that you need for a trip, but you want it to be concise. You don't want it to be too big. You don't want to have to check a bag, but maybe you do. Maybe you want a nice new suitcase in your life. With Base, there's room for everything. If you want to pack 15 pairs of underwear, which I am an underwear overpacker, you just never know when you're a woman. You never know when you're going to need that extra pair of undies in your life. So I'm an underwear overpacker. Shoes, you don't know which kind of shoes you want to wear with an outfit. No problem. You could bring them all with Base. Base was created by actress Shay Mitchell to make sleek and affordable bags, luggage, and accessories designed to help you travel effortlessly while still looking fashionable. I'm sure you guys have seen the Base bags all over social media, and they are as good as described. Base has thought of everything you could ever want in a piece of luggage: 360-degree gliding wheels, a cushion handle, built-in weight indicator, washable bags for your dirty clothes. Very important. I love that because I love separating my used dirty clothes from my clean clothes when I am away, so that when I get home, I know. And all the interior pockets you need to keep organized. Their luggage comes in multiple sizes and colors. And for shorter trips, the Weekender bag is super functional and even has a place to store your shoes separately. I love the Weekender bag. Especially if, I'm not going too far, just like this past weekend when I went to Rhinebeck, I was only away for 2 days. I used my weekender bag. It was perfect. Or if I'm just going home to Long Island, it is absolutely perfect. Whether you're packing for a quick trip or looking to breeze through the security line, Base has your personal items covered. Right now, Base is offering our listeners 15% off your first purchase by visiting basetravel.com/chicks. By the way, that's BEIS travel.com/chicks for 15% off your first purchase. Once again, that's BEIS travel.com/chicks for 15% off your first purchase. Last night was the Critics' Choice Awards. It was hosted by Chelsea Handler, who, probably felt the nerves going into it because of her ex-boyfriend Joe Coy's performance at the Golden Globes just a week prior. It seemed like people actually enjoyed her monologue. She had a couple of good jokes thrown in there. She did have a shot thrown at Joe Coy, it seemed. She made a joke about Martin Scorsese, how, she would toss around that little Italian meatball and everyone laughed. And she said, "Thanks for laughing. My writers wrote that." And the room laughed hysterically. There was, a camera on Will Ferrell. Like you could see it, the sparkle in his eye when he realized the joke that she had made.
Yeah.
It panned to Bill Hader, and Bill Hader did not seem to be laughing about anything, but I don't know if that's just his resting face that, who knows?
Very fair.
She made jokes about, Harrison Ford and Robert De Niro and how she's in, Leonardo DiCaprio is into younger girls. She's into older guys. Jokes about Saltburn, called Barbie, Margot a dirty Barbie, which was the appropriate Barbie joke to make. I felt like that was she complimented Margot for being a producer on Saltburn and then made a joke about her being a dirty Barbie. I thought that was good. It seemed like everybody enjoyed her presence, and I would assume that most would know who Chelsea Handler is, because she's like a staple. So I feel like that maybe that also helped her case as well. It's just another award show, you know what I mean? It's award show season. The same people are winning most of the awards. We had some new people win awards. Kieran Culkin, he won again for Succession, and of course had another great speech. Very funny. He gets up there and starts talking about something completely different than the award. He joked about his wife and Sarah Snook, like picking at his ear hairs. And he was like, "And now I'm talking about this on stage and I didn't mean to be." He's just very funny and almost like Roman, but not in like a gross way, even though Roman is a great character. But Kieran just has that charisma, that personality on stage that you just, when you watch him accept a speech, you want him to continue talking the entire time. But yeah, I wish that I tuned in a little bit more to the Critics' Choice Awards. It's not one that we usually are tuning into yearly, but it seemed like this was a good one.
Yeah, I do agree. I think it's one that like we don't jump into that much. But it was on TV. And for me, like I was watching the football. So I was kind of like paying attention more online to stuff and obviously seeing the carpet and the outfits and all that. But as the winners were coming in, it felt like we were on the same track as like Golden Globes, like The Bear and Beef and all the, like those shows won, the actors won, which was great. There was a viral clip about I'm Just Ken winning for song and like Ryan Gosling being like, "What the fuck?" And I don't think he was making the face in like a "this is bad" kind of face. I think he was like just surprised. Like I think he was just kind of like, "Damn, like we're up against some really great songs." And I'm sure even just for the other Barbie songs, I think everyone kind of assumed Billie Eilish would win like every award when it came to song. Like we said, Succession went through a big one. And Oppenheimer, Emma Stone won for Best Actress, and Paul Giamatti won again for The Holdovers, which is interesting because like Paul Giamatti definitely, it felt like maybe an underdog for some of these awards. He had such a great performance, but you could see how like there's just some heavy hitters, and especially in some big box office massive movies. So seeing Paul Giamatti win that is so great. I know people have been joking about like poor Bradley Cooper
I was
because
just gonna bring up Bradley Cooper.
it's like people are like, damn, Bradley Cooper spent 6 years studying and learning how to be this guy, and he's not going to get awarded for it. He was really fantastic. It's just really hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a tough category always when you have some really great performances. I loved seeing that Dominic Sessa won. The Critics Choice has a Best Young Actor or Actress category, and he won for The Holdovers too, which was so great. I mean, he's fantastic. He was so good in that movie, which I loved. And a lot of awards. Barbie won a bunch of stuff. Oppenheimer won a bunch of stuff. And there was one other joke I wanted to mention. Oh, I was going to just agree with what you were saying. I felt like Chelsea Handler, that the writer's comment, clean jab. I thought she did that perfectly. Like she acknowledged what happened at the Golden Globes without being like, hey, did you see what Joe Coy did last week? You know, like it wasn't like a direct hit or like really like she didn't spend any time on it really. It was just like one little liner that everyone was going to get and understand. So I thought that was executed perfectly. And Chelsea Handler, she's hosted before. She knows the gig. She knows how to do it. I thought she was great. And other than that, like I felt like I didn't really see too much. The carpet, I wasn't blown away by anything. There was a lot of black. I actually I loved Billie Eilish's outfit.
Yeah, she looked great.
Yeah. But like Margot Robbie's red dress, I was not I thought there was like it didn't really know what it was. I felt like. And then there was also a lot of black. I just feel like Critics' Choice, the stars love to get dressed up, but they're like it's like a filler award show in between in between the big ones. They're saving the big guns for the Oscars, and the Emmys are tonight.
The Emmys are tonight. Yeah, I agree. I think Critics' Choice, they're like, all right, we gotta still look good, but it doesn't really matter. A lot of black, a lot of red. I want to make a note that I think this is going to be Margot Robbie's Oscar Barbie dress.
Ooh.
This is movie
star
Barbie.
Yeah.
And I think she's going to recreate that for the Oscars. That's just my prediction. I'm just putting a prediction out there.
I could totally see that.
Just movie star Barbie. But yeah, back to I just want to bring up the Bradley Cooper thing for a second. It's kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio, how he didn't win for years. And everyone was like, how is Leonardo DiCaprio not winning an Oscar for anything? And then he won for The Revenant. And it was like a movie where he didn't even really speak. It was just, it was about the acting. Like you really just never know.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of what's happening with Bradley Cooper. He's like, I think at the Critics' Choice Awards, he's accepted the fact that he's just probably, this award show season maybe not be in the cards for him. There also was an uncomfortable moment that Bella Ramsey. She, somebody wrote this for her, obviously, made a joke and said that there are actors who also think they're singers, Jack Black, Ariana DeBose, and Ryan Gosling. That is how you pronounce her last name, right?
I believe it's DeBose.
DeBose. And Ariana was not happy with that joke, and she did put on her story and said, no, I did not think that was funny. So whoever I feel bad for Bella Ramsey kind of, because I feel like she got up there, read the teleprompter, probably didn't think twice, and then now has to live with the fact that she was not happy with that joke.
Right. Like that was just, I get the idea of the joke. I feel like that probably works more for like a Ryan Gosling, like that kind. Like I get that.
Like Ryan Gosling, it works for, yes.
Yeah, like Ariana was literally in the original cast of Hamilton. Like I just feel like she is a singer, actress, like
she was on Broadway.
Yeah. Which is, something that I feel like that puts you in that category. I understand. And like, that's a harmless joke to me. That wasn't like an intentional hit at anybody, because I still think they mentioned talented people who can sing. Like, it's not like you are naming actors who you're like, oh God, please don't ever try and sing. Like, you can't sing. But she can sing. Like, it's, So I don't know. I mean, I think you gotta, it's tough, because I think you gotta kind of roll with it to like post on your story and be like, I didn't think that was funny. It's like, okay, fine. That's fine. Your prerogative. You don't have to think it's funny, but we just as celebrities as a whole may just need to, we may just need to be able to take a joke a little bit better these days.
Right. But then we kind of have to look at last week and go, all right, then,
no, same thing.
The people who were upset last week, like, then should they not be, you know what I mean? Like, should they, what if they posted on their story and said it wasn't funny?
Right. I think it's different with like a monologue that's going just off the rails and like jokes that are consecutively bad, compared to a 20-year-old actress going up and reading the pre-written joke that's on the teleprompter for her, like before a category is being announced.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know if that's like the one you harp on. Obviously, like, I'm just being selective here for sure, but it's just, I don't know, like that. I get it. I'd be frustrated. I'd be like, I'm a fucking Broadway star. Like, don't lump me in with that.
Maybe her name was thrown in because she actually is
right,
really good. So they were like, okay, we need to name at least one person who is actually a singer.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like I don't know why it seems like this award season the jokes are not hitting with the crowd as much. I've never quite seen it like this. But it seems like things have gotten more sensitive this award season.
It does seem that way.
So we'll see what happens at the Oscars, or the Emmys.
Or the Emmys.
we gotta keep it moving.
Who's hosting the Emmys tonight?
Let's look.
I forget who it is.
Oh, I thought it was,
is it Anthony Anderson?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's Anthony Anderson.
Simu Liu is doing People's Choice.
He
tweeted, yes. Okay. But yes, Anthony Anderson is hosting the Emmys. I'm sure he will have some jokes. So everyone be on the lookout. Everyone be on guard.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on these days, but I think
get ready to analyze every single joke made on stage.
Right. I feel like, we kind of just got to go into it, I mean them, with like, all right, I may have a joke being made about me, and like, let's, maybe we just keep it moving.
Yeah. I will say though, it's a double header for a lot of these TV stars who are Critics' Choice, Emmys, like
they got to be tired.
Yeah, seriously. Tough life going to all the award shows, but
oh my gosh,
yeah. They're probably ice in their face this morning, just like me.
Oh, definitely. And then they got to get right back at it with the glam. Back to back nights.
Gown back on, honey.
Yeah. Get out there.
Is your holiday hangover making getting dressed feel like a chore and a bore? Welcome the new year with the resolution for personalized style that reflects the real you, courtesy of Stitch Fix's expert team of personal stylists. Stitch Fix is the best way to shop new styles and brands. Think of them as your style partner. Your stylist will learn about your taste and collaborate with you on looks you'll love without breaking the bank. You simply share your preferences, sizes, and budget, and Stitch Fix sends you 5 items in a fix right to your door. With your choices in mind and sizes from extra small to triple XL, they'll find your perfect fit. Try everything on at home, keep what you like, and send back the rest. Shipping and returns are always free. They have over 1,000 brands and styles, so no matter what season of life you're in, Stitch Fix has you covered. Simply order a refresh as needed or set it and forget it with regular fixes. You're in control. Over time, Stitch Fix and their seasoned style experts will match you with greater precision to perfect pieces for you based on your likes and dislikes. It's that easy. Thanks, Stitch Fix. They just get me, and they'll get you too. Try today at stitchfix.com/chicks, and you'll get 25% off when you keep everything in your fix. That's stitchfix.com/chicks, stitchfix.com/chicks.
Moving on, Taylor Swift at the Chiefs game this Saturday. Obviously, we got to talk about it. Seemed like she was having a great time. Sick jackets.
Sick jackets.
For both Brittany and Taylor. And now Christina is a wife of a 49ers player. I cannot for the life of me pronounce their last name.
Juszczyk.
What is it again?
Juszczyk.
Juszczyk. Okay.
Yes.
And it is spelled, just so everyone knows, Juszczyk, which is why I have a problem pronouncing it.
Yeah.
She is a fashion designer. She has fantastic TikToks. If you go look at her TikToks and how she makes different clothes for herself, 49ers games, for other
Kristen, by the way.
Sorry, not Christina.
Yeah, Kristen Juszczyk.
And her style is impeccable. I was watching all her TikToks after this, of course.
Yeah, she's insane. She's so talented, and she makes like the coolest shit for herself too. Like you see what she wears to the Niners game days. It's like, that's so cool.
It's so cool. And it's one of those times where I feel sorry that we didn't know about her before, but I'm glad that she's getting the recognition now. Her husband was hyping her up on every single tweet that he possibly could. We love to see it. He was like, this jacket was designed by my wife, Kristen, like every single tweet, which was fantastic because she does deserve the credit. The announcers credited Nike during the game, which you honestly can't blame them for not knowing exactly, especially when the Nike logo's on the side. They, boys, they don't know. They probably just assumed Nike made that, but she made the jackets from jerseys that obviously have the Nike logo on it. So that's where that came from, but just fantastic. And then of course, Taylor was having a great time at the game. Love to see it. Freezing cold temperatures. I do not know how the players get out there and do it. Seriously, how? How?
And bare skin.
Did it take them 24 hours to recover to not be cold anymore?
It's crazy.
How did they do it?
I don't know. And Travis and Jason were talking about it on New Heights recently about the cold, and just like, they're like, oh, it's not that, like, your arms, it's like not that bad. They have layers on underneath, heated benches, the jackets, whatever. But I'm just like, I'm sorry, any exposed skin, like Andy Reid's mustache was frozen solid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was insane. Just crazy cold temperatures. I saw one sign that was cracking me up. It was like, I'm feeling -22, which was a good one. But Taylor, they seem to be having a great time. Obviously, the Chiefs won, so they were very happy, but they were opening up the window to the suite. She's high-fiving people. She's having a great time. They're swag surfing. Everybody was hyper focused on that. But that's her. She's just living the wag life, and she clearly loves it.
She's clearly having a great time.
Exactly. And the jacket was insane. This is talking about this now is reminding me that this was like I had a dream that included all this last night, but it's just infiltrating my dreams. It's like you said, just seems like they're having so much fun, and she's got to soak it all in because she can be at these playoff games, but soon she's going to be off again. She's got some shows. We'll see what happens, but the dedication is there. And there is something still, I'm not over it, where like, and I know we keep saying the same thing and some people don't like it, but when the videos of them, when they're leaving, like the video of Brittany and Patrick and Taylor and Travis walking out together and they're hand in hand, I'm just like, oh, he's so big. I'm like, look how tiny she looks next to him.
Yeah, that
every single time. I'm like, oh, she's looking up at him. I'm just like, oh God, these two.
right. We're just every time you're just happy to see it. Like you just get giddy seeing it,
Yeah.
happy for them. She's having a great time. Like you said, she's got to soak it in. She's going to be back on tour. So you know what? I'll take everything we can see from these two. I will.
And Kristen Juszczyk also made Taylor Lautner a jacket, which was really sick. He was wearing it at the Lions game, which I guess like it took planes, trains, and automobiles to get this jacket to him. It was delivered to him literally like on the field. But same kind of thing. She took an Aiden Hutchinson jersey and turned it into like a sick puffer jacket as well. So big weekend for the Juszczyks. And that is awesome. And Kyle was once again posting about that. He was like, oh, my wife made this one too. So really cool. Love to see that support. That's a good husband right there.
Absolutely.
It was awesome to see that.
And she is just so talented. Like she deserves all the praise. And, you know, I don't know if she has her own business or what's going on, but she should. The NFL should hire her to make clothing at this point. Like she should
have a licensing deal. Yeah. Like
she's just so talented. And
I mean, it's crazy. I think she clearly makes it all herself, which is very hard.
Right. Extremely hard.
Yeah. So that's very
props
cool.
to her. Really, really cool. Moving on to potential new couples. Dua Lipa was seen with Callum Turner, and Sabrina Carpenter was seen with Barry Keoghan for the second time. It seems like Sabrina Carpenter and Barry have been talking. Maybe they're dating. There were rumors that Barry was bringing Sabrina to the Golden Globes last week. That did not happen. Barry does have a child with somebody else. So they broke up. They had been talked about. That was being talked about last week. Sources were saying, oh, he told his ex that he was bringing Sabrina Carpenter to the Golden Globes. That clearly was not true. Or maybe he decided at the final moment that was not going to be the case. And then for Dua Lipa and Callum Turner, Dua Lipa, she's always dating. She's always having a good time. And I'm always rooting for her to have a good time. Like every time Dua Lipa is dating somebody new, I'm like, go for it, Dua. She just seems like, you know, she just likes to have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this is a pairing that I can get behind for sure. Callum Turner is I don't know if I would say like up and coming because he's been in a ton of stuff. Fantastic Beasts, but now he's in the Masters of Air. Is that what the George Clooney directed, George Clooney produced. I think it's one of those.
The Boys in the Boat. That is
Is that George Clooney?
That was a George Clooney.
Okay, I'm thinking of,
but he's not.
Okay, Masters of the Air is
directed by George Clooney. The Boys in the Boat stars Callum Turner.
Right, so he's in that, and he's also in this Masters of the Air, which is a mini series. Okay, I'm just combining two things together. Callum Turner's in both of them. Masters of the Air is everybody's been discussing too because of the carpet stuff. It's Austin Butler, Callum Turner, Barry Keoghan are all in this. So they're like, okay, we got some hot shots in this one. Yeah. He's absolutely adorable. He's so cute. So they were at the premiere last week for this, and Dua Lipa went to support him, and there was a video on TMZ of them, you know, canoodling and kissing and whatnot. So absolutely adorable couple, really.
Adorable couple.
Like really cute. I think this is, you know, not to throw my 2 cents in for the guys that Dua Lipa chooses to date. her prerogative, but the last guy didn't really make too much sense to me. I felt this feels appropriate.
Yeah.
So very into this, and very into Barry and Sabrina. I know Barry and Sabrina, like, it's just, I don't know, that one doesn't make as much sense to me, but I'm also really into it.
It actually does weirdly make sense to me, because I think Sabrina Carpenter is low-key a freak, and Barry is kind of
high-key a freak.
High-key a freak. And I'm like such a Sabrina Carpenter fan that I am rooting for this so heavily. Like, we haven't seen much canoodling, but we've seen them out together. And they're standing near each other, distanced 6 feet apart.
Was he wearing a jacket that had 69 on the back of it?
That I did not see.
Am I making that up of the picture?
You dream about that?
I might have. The picture, they went to some museum in LA.
Oh, no, he was wearing a jacket that had a butterfly and a 69 on the back.
There you go.
It's a cool jacket.
It is a cool jacket.
I like the butterfly on top of the 69.
Right. But I think that just doubles down the high key.
And honestly, he seems like a smaller guy, and Sabrina Carpenter's a small girl. Like, I'm into it. I am very into this couple.
Just want to put them both in your pocket.
Right. Let them dance around in there. Do whatever you guys got to do.
They're absolutely adorable. Love is in the air to start off the year.
And I am very, very into this couple. And, I hope it's not short-lived. I want to see more of them. I want to see more from them.
I'm glad that the rumors of her being on the carpet with him wasn't like too much for them to handle.
Right. Like, imagine like, no, we can't, that didn't make him shy away from this.
Yeah.
She is like, I just love her style so much. Like, she just has the coolest outfits. But yeah, I'm hoping to see more from these two. Not gonna lie. I'm rooting for it. And that wraps up the topics for today.
Whether you're juggling work, family, and life in general, things can feel chaotic. That's why Coors Light helps you find moments to reset and refresh all year long. Whenever you need to hit reset, reach for a Coors Light. It's made to chill. There's only one beer out there that's literally made to chill, and that's Coors Light. Whether you're hanging out with friends or hanging out at home, there's a ton to do this month. There's sports, there's fun. You could be headed to the bar to watch your favorite team. There's football playoffs. It's time to relax, enjoy a nice cold Coors Light. When you reach into your fridge, you see that those mountains are blue. You can get that can, that bottle. It's crisp, cool, refreshing. Coors Light. When it's time to chill, Coors Light is the beer we reach for. So when you want to hit reset, grab the beer that's made to chill. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/chicks. And always celebrate responsibly from Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
All right, let's get into the weekly watch report, where we talk about the things we watched this week. Weekly watch report on Monday. 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 Different tune there. A little bit of a different tune there for your Monday, people. Weekly watch report. Let's talk about the things we watched this week. I got a good list, and I have one that's going to shock you guys. That is why I was excited to get to this.
Okay.
I won't take too long. I watched the Dave Chappelle special. Meh. Listen, Dave Chappelle, obviously one of the greatest comedians ever. That, is just a fact.
Yeah.
Do I think he's a little past his prime? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. His special was.
Ooh.
I know.
That's the quote card. That's the quote card Noah's gonna make today.
Of course.
It's gonna be like, I watched the Dave Chappelle special. ... Meh. Period.
I'm gonna make two quote cards.
I think he's really past his prime. Period. Rhea.
I'm gonna make two quote cards. That, and then the other one's gonna be Sabrina Carpenter's a freak. No context.
It's just his special, not as good as they once were. Very meh to me. I wasn't laughing that hard. I felt like some jokes were jokes he like got offline. Like, there was one joke he did about going to the strip club, and he made a joke like, you know, going to the strip club with your boys, like you're all getting hard together. Like how many times have we seen that joke online?
Right.
Like people have made that like that's not one that Dave Chappelle is writing up on his own time. To me, that's like we've all heard that joke before.
Right.
You know, I'm no comedian though, but anyways, that was meh to me. I'm gonna give it like a C minus. Like I there were parts of it that I found very funny, him talking about Chris Rock and Will Smith and, you know, doing shows with Chris Rock after all that happened, and him talking about that was very, very funny. But the rest of it, meh. I watched Pete Davidson's special.
I watched it as well.
I don't know why I was hitting my couch laughing so hard. Like there were certain parts where I was like, okay, cool it. Why are you laughing so hard? The initial, like the beginning, I felt like you just had to get through the jokes about him fucking his mom. Like I thought those were a little bizarre to me, but I get it. You know, he's making jokes.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I genuinely thought was hilarious. Like this was the funniest Pete Davidson special I had ever seen. You know, we've always been a fan of Pete, but I had never thought that his specials were particularly very funny. This one to me was hilarious. Like solid special for me from Pete for this one. So I'm going to give it an A. I'm going to give Pete Davidson special an A because in the moment, that is how I felt about it. Like literally banging on my couch, like I couldn't breathe. I don't know. You know, sometimes when you're just in that mood, like that giddy mood, you watch something funny, it's even funnier. So Pete Davidson special gets a good score from me. Southern Charm reunion, excellent. Excelente. Southern Charm reunion. Southern Charm, underrated. People are not talking about the reunion as much as I thought they would be. Like I thought this reunion, this part one was fantastic. I was on the edge of my seat. Yeah. I'm gonna give Southern Charm reunion an A.
Hell yeah.
They get an A from me.
Yep.
Salt Lake City reunion, part one.
Yeah, we talked about it.
We talked about it. It's getting a B minus for me.
Fair.
Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This gets a C minus for me this episode.
Yeah.
You know, we're taking like, where are we going this season? Where are we going? Is Kyle Richards going to admit that she's in a relationship with Morgan Wade at the end of the season? Or are we not getting there?
Right.
Like, where are we going? Now this one will shock you guys. I watched The Bear season 2.
Oh. The whole season.
The entire season.
Okay.
I liked it.
Hold on to your seats.
Everybody grab on to something and hold on tight.
Hold on tight.
I liked it. I've talked about The Bear before. I didn't understand the hype. Now, I still don't understand like the holy fuck, this is the best show I've ever seen, like accolades, but I was into it. I thought it was very good. Really, really anxiety inducing. Not a comedy. So I'm confused why it keeps getting thrown into the comedy genre of the award show season.
There are laughs, but it feels more like a drama with some comedic moments.
With a little lighthearted, like comedic
undertones.
Light in the moment because of how intense it can be. The finale of that show was not comedic at all. They're like, oh my God. The Christmas episode. I know I'm late because everyone was talking about.
I was like,
have you guys seen this show, The Bear?
It just was more like I couldn't tell if I was enjoying it or my heart was going to jump out of my chest.
But that's just how 100%, and that's just how I feel like you can tell it's just a good piece of television because your body had like a visceral reaction to it, which not a lot of shows can do.
Actually, and like I was like, I can't shut this off, but I want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I liked it. Yeah. But I can't figure out what grade I want to give it. I just can't. I'll give it a B.
Fair.
I'll give it a B.
That's fair.
They are all fantastic actors, though.
Yeah, they are.
That goes without saying. Okay, I watched The Curious Case of Natalia Grace on Max, this documentary. I watched the first 2 episodes. Had to shut it off because it really creeped me out. Now, have you guys seen this?
No.
It's about this woman, Natalia, or child. I have not figured out yet. I've not come to the conclusion yet. Who is a woman who suffers from dwarfism, who is adopted into a family and is from Ukraine. But as it's unfolded, she may not actually be a 6-year-old child. She may actually be a full-grown adult posing as a 6-year-old child, not from Ukraine. It's weird. Like, It is bizarre. And I had to, after 2 episodes, I had to take a breath. I was like, okay, I gotta take a moment with this show, this documentary.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a weird story, and I can't figure, I don't know who to trust. I don't know if this family's lying. Is she lying? It starts off like, boom, it starts off like immediately weird. It's just not going to be one of those that I grade. It's just not going to be one of those that I grade. It's just not. It was hard for me to stomach. Like, as I'm talking about it more.
Yeah, the description of the premise is something I don't like at all.
Like, is she a child or is she a full-grown adult? I don't know. And then they like paired her up with, they had a little play date with her and another little girl who was suffering from the same thing, who was 6 years old. And they were like, wait a second. She looks way older than the 6-year-old. I don't know. She like had her period and they were like, she can't have her period at 6 years old. It was really bizarre. So yeah, that one was, took a minute for me to digest. I had to take a breather from that. The Traitors. I watched the first 3 episodes of season 2. I like it, but nothing groundbreaking yet. I love the cast. The cast is what pulled me in. Johnny Bananas, CT, Parvati, and Sandra from Survivor, 2 of the greatest to play the game. Then you got some Real Housewives. You got Pilot Pete, who is doing nothing so far. He's had like 5 words. I'm interested. And they had me on the edge of my seat because they only had 3 episodes left on a cliffhanger. Gonna wait until this week for it to come back. I'm gonna give Traitors a C+.
Room for improvement.
Room to get better. But I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
Last thing. Deal or No Deal Island 21-minute sneak peek on Peacock.
I was about to say, I thought it wasn't out yet.
It's not out yet, but they put a 21-minute sneak peek for the first episode.
Okay.
Joey! What a host. What a host. Joe Manganiello's up there doing his thing with some good outfits on. Let me tell you, my man's got some good outfits on. Boston Rob, fantastic. Also one of the greatest ever do it on Survivor. I really don't know who else anybody is on the show. Like I don't know, and I don't care. I'm rooting for Boston Rob. That's been decided. I'm not rooting for anybody else.
Like, nobody else is well known, are they? Like,
there's some other people. Like, there's a girl that was a model for Deal or No Deal. Like, she did the cases. Like, they all have something.
But nobody's Boston Rob level.
Nobody's Boston Rob.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, he is going to play them upside, downside, around and around. He's going to fucking twirl them around his finger and throw them because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know who they are messing with Boston Rob. He's a stand-up guy. He's a gentleman, but he knows how to play the game. And my man Joe is killing it as a host. I was nervous. I didn't want to like get the ick kind of like if Joe Manganiello, like I didn't want to be like, ooh, maybe I'm not the biggest Joe Manganiello fan anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still kind of confused why he's hosting. And, you know, is he in trouble? Is he not getting the parts he wants? Is that why he is, you know, maybe taken the role of hosting Deal or No Deal Island? I don't know. Or is he doing for the love of the game? We know that he loves Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe he's a game show guy. Maybe he loved Deal or No Deal and this was his dream. We don't know his backstory of why he's becoming host of Deal or No Deal Island. Okay, so who are we to judge? We're not. So you keep going, Joe. The 21-minute sneak peek from me is gonna get a B minus.
Okay.
Because it was only a sneak peek. But I like what I saw from the group and the show.
You're in for the premise.
I'm in for the premise. And that wraps up my weekly watch report.
Okay. I finished Love Island Australia. Great season. Lot of drama. Lot of different moves. Lot of characters. Trent and Zach were probably the worst bro duo I have ever seen on this show in terms of just being total douchebags. Now, it all worked out for one of them, it seems, but there was a moment. I don't really want to, it's tough because I know people are still watching, so I don't want to give anything away, but Trent pulled a move towards the end of the season that I was like, this fucking guy is such a loser. Like, pardon me being mean to him, but I was just like, this is so lame. Like, it's just, I was blown away. But I really enjoyed the season, and the people who won, extremely well deserved. I thought they were great. So I'll give the whole Love Island Australia season a B plus. It was a great season, start to finish. I really enjoyed it. I wish Love Island Australia would do Casa more. Like, sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. Obviously they do their own like twists and turns and crazy things at what they do, but throwing a Casa into the mix here would have just really upped the ante. Now, what else did I watch? So I finished all of that. I watched, also caught up on all of the Bravo shows. So Southern Charm Reunion, I will give a B plus. I've watched that clip of Olivia and Taylor multiple times now because it's come up on my TikTok. And when Olivia picked up on what Taylor was doing, and the camera cut back to Taylor for like a split second, and she had like a smirk on her face that I wanted to wipe that smirk off her face.
God,
like that was a low. Like I said, I've been saying all season, I feel like I've continued to try and make excuses for Taylor of like why she was acting like this, but just some bad behavior.
Just low blow and
low
like
blow.
If somebody, you know, if you are best friends with somebody and they trust you with information and you guys are no longer friends and you go and tell that information publicly like this, I just don't respect you as a human being. Like, I just feel like that is so low to do to somebody that even if you're not friends, you still don't go and like do that. You know what I'm saying?
Agree.
Like, I just think that is so low for her to be like, oh, well, I'm going to do this now publicly on the reunion in front of all these people and thousands of people watching. Like, that's just because you're not friends anymore doesn't mean you need to go and do that. Like, it's just
totally
low.
Completely, I agree. I hope Shep is okay. There's a lot of focus on Shep's behavior. Seems like he's hit some bad moments in the last few months, and the boys seem to be like at their wits' end. You know, they can only do so much for Shep. If at this point it feels like Craig was like, look, I don't know what else to do at this point. So just like hearing that conversation is sad, and you just don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
But
I felt the same way for Shep, because when you're watching, you're like, what's his deal? Why does he do these things? But him talking like that, like I really hope that he does get the help he needs and makes changes in his life. Because it is sad. And the way that Craig was like, you are on a, like, you're going to be falling off a cliff, basically. Like, to hear your own friend say that, it means you fucked up. And
right. He's like, I have to get off this ride. Like, I can't keep doing this with you. Beverly Hills, I will give C, and Real Houses of Miami, I'll give a B. We talked about that last episode with Larsa, so I don't need to get into that too much. And Salt Lake City reunion, I will give a B minus. I'm waiting for the juicy parts, which I'm hoping are coming up.
This is a super, super exciting time right now. You know, Fran and I are planning our weddings. We are in the full swing of enjoying being engaged and in that wedding planning mode. And actually, our producer, Sarah, she just got engaged this past weekend. So congratulations to Sarah. It is huge for the chicks in the office right now. We are feeling it, but you know what comes along with that. You got to get prepared. The wedding planning, it starts creeping in, and you want to be on top of it. And you could be on top of it with Zola. You can plan your entire wedding in one convenient place, from free planning tools like a customizable checklist and website, to a venue and vendor discovery tool that matches you with your dream team. Everything on Zola is designed to make your wedding journey as easy as possible. And with invites that are fun to create and a wedding registry packed with gifts you actually want, Zola takes you from save our date to thank you so much without breaking a sweat. There's even a 5-star app that helps you plan on the go. It makes wedding planning easy and fun. It's supposed to be stress-free, even though, you know, everybody gets stressed when it comes to this stuff, but you want to keep it moving. You want to keep it on track and prepare you for what's coming next. They also have the wedding pros on call to walk couples from question to answer anytime. A bunch of tools to help you out, help personalize and plan your wedding with couples' preferences and recommendations and make it unique to you. So right now you can start planning at Zola.com. That's ZOLA.com. Once again, if you are in the swing of things, if you're getting into action, you're planning your wedding, maybe you're helping somebody plan their wedding, you know somebody in their life that's getting engaged, getting married, visit Zola. It'll help you out. Start planning right now at Zola.com. That's ZOLA.com.
I watched episodes 1 through 7 of The Crown, the last season of The Crown. I was flying through it. Oh God, the emotions. Tears were shed. This is why I put off watching this last season, because it's a show obviously based on real events. We know what's coming. We know what's happening. And when I knew that the season was also coming out in 2 parts, I was like, I'm just going to wait to watch it all at one time. And I waited this long. I put it on. And, you know, it's just everything with Princess Diana is just so sad. And it just kills me. The show is so good. I will give those episodes A minus. I think The Crown is such a fantastic show, and it's really one of my favorites. There's some things that obviously they like, you can't go. Some things are fictionalized, which obviously add dramatic effect, but it's like, it's very hard to separate that. You really have to like remind yourself. I'm like, okay, this is not how everything happened. I'm like online being like fact checking the last season of The Crown. Like, they had this one moment where, and I knew this was fake watching it. I was like, okay, this did not happen, or we would have known, where like a young Kate Middleton and her mom were like shopping in London, and they were out on the sidewalk, and Prince William and Princess Diana were just like doing some sort of charity thing like across the street, and they met. And I was like, okay, that did not happen.
Yeah.
So it's like some things they obviously add just for some flair, but really just I just love that show. And that's kind of like all the big stuff I watched. Oh, I watched Oppenheimer. Had
Oh,
not seen it. Fantastic movie. Like Oppenheimer's an A. That was like I was blown away. Really, really good. Now, granted, I watched it at home and we separated it in two parts because we started it late, like Tuesday night, we watched an hour and a half. Wednesday night, we watched an hour and a half. We watched it in two parts, which was lovely. And it's also kind of how I think I need to watch Killers of the Flower Moon. But I did find myself like it got late on Tuesday and we were trying to find a place to pause and it was almost hard to do that. It did feel like it was moving at a good pace, but it was Christopher Nolan's fantastic. Cillian Murphy was so good. I really enjoyed it. And anytime I watch a movie like this, especially at home, like I am sad I didn't watch it in IMAX to get the full feel. But it's a great movie. Not surprising. This is kind of how I felt I would feel about Oppenheimer. It made me want to read the book, which I feel like I won't do because it's fucking massive.
Yeah, I feel like the book is 100 times longer than the movie.
The book is ginormous. But
maybe it's something you could just read, you just pick it up, you read a couple pages.
Totally.
Every so often.
I can read the Wikipedia for the book. It's just a really fascinating story of just obviously what happened and then how, like we saw in the movie, how he was treated after. And Robert Downey Jr., fantastic. Just, no complaints. Great movie. And that is the Pete Davidson special I watched. I'll give it a B+. I was laughing. It was funny. Lost me at a little parts. The stalker stuff I thought was really funny. That was a really good bit. I thought that was very funny. It was a long game with that one. I felt like that joke like really was like the whole last 30 minutes of the show, but was really good. And I'm happy for Pete. He looked great.
Like, I thought he looked great. I thought he looked healthy.
Yeah, it just seemed like he put together a great special. Lots of good jokes in there, and no complaints really. I didn't like I said, some parts I was like, what, like you said, I was like the jokes about his mom. I'm like, not my favorite.
Yeah,
like I get what he was trying to do. But still, in the back of your mind, you're like.
Right, like it was funny the first time and then it just went on like a little too long.
Right, exactly. Like it was like, okay, you could be like
you can make one joke about fucking your mom,
you move on to something else.
Yeah.
But happy for Pete, it's a good special, well done, well made. I enjoyed the black and white. It's a fun little twist, and that is everything I watched.
Okay. I watched kind of random this week. I watched this movie called The Passenger. It's on Prime right now. It got very good reviews. I definitely wouldn't recommend it to you guys. It's kind of gory and dark.
Okay.
But I'll give it a C-. It's I don't know. It was kind of I felt like it was meaningless at the end. I'm like, well, what was the point of all this? Have you guys ever heard of this movie Hereditary?
Yes.
It's like you see it on TikTok all the time. Like, that's just like I feel like everyone's go-to, like, have you like that crazy, like scary movie? I finally watched it and it is really like disturbing, I guess, but I was just like, this isn't good. Like, and I also was like just so confused at the end. I'm like, what was this? So I'll give that a D+. But it's good to see what's his name from the Naked Brothers band is still
Nat
out
Wolff.
there. Yeah.
Hey, that's how I felt about some of those moments in in Oppenheimer where I was like, damn, all these scientists, we got some serious child actors popping up in here. Like at one point I was like, damn, we got Naked Brothers Band, Josh Peck, and fucking Sky High. Like I was like, damn, all these guys are in here making a big impact. So yeah, they're still
working.
They're still cracking out these movies.
Yeah. I watched the Pete Davidson special as well. I'll give that a B minus. Like I liked it. I think that was my favorite thing I've seen from him. But maybe it was also the mood that I was in, but I wasn't like feeling some of it. But there were some good parts. I also feel like I don't know if it's like is he Italian or no?
No.
Okay. I felt like it was kind of like that humor though. Like I mean, I know that one of the jokes was that he like didn't know he was Jewish, but
well, he's from
Staten Island,
yeah,
but like I don't think his mom is Italian.
Maybe his
mom's not, but it says Davidson's father was predominantly of Jewish ancestry with some distant
that's where
German,
the Jewish
Irish,
side came from, Noah.
and Italian roots. And then his mother is Irish, with some German roots. So there might be some Italian mix in there. It's also just
it's also just Staten Island,
like a Catholic from Staten Island.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah. I watched the most recent episode of Hard Knocks. I'll give that a B plus. Like solid. I'm looking forward to the next one just so I can see them lose. And because I don't know, like I know everyone loves this coach, but part of me is like he makes everything about himself. I know that's what the show is, but I'm like, this guy loves the attention.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to see him lose.
He's polarizing.
Yeah. I watched Napoleon on Prime. It's kind of
Joaquin Phoenix, right?
Yeah, it kind of lived up to what I've heard about it, where it's like the fight scenes are huge and kind of crazy and good, but everything else is not. And I can't get over the fact that he just didn't do an accent. Like there are people doing accents in the movie, but Joaquin is just like, no, I'm just American, like playing Napoleon. It just doesn't. I just don't get it. But I'll give it a C minus. Like I just think it was all over the place. I feel like it didn't do Napoleon justice.
Napoleon looking out for your guy.
Yeah, Napoleon wouldn't have been happy. I do not
think Napoleon would have liked this depiction.
I don't think he would have. He like imagine if someone played you, but they just had like a separate accent. Like, I watched this movie Self-Reliance. It just came out on Hulu. It's with what's his name from New Girl?
Yeah, that's Jake Johnson, right?
Oh yeah, Jake Johnson. And Anna Kendrick's in it.
Anna Kendrick. Yep. I saw it.
Kind of just like a fun movie, like not anything amazing, but like an interesting idea for a premise. I'll give it a C minus, but it's like an easy movie you could just throw on and like it's just a fun little adventure. I watched this movie, Miranda's Victim, which I will say that it's not a fun little adventure. It's very serious.
It's not a fun little adventure.
Definitely, I wouldn't say like a movie based on like a girl getting sexually assaulted and then trying to like bring this guy to justice is a fun little adventure. But what's her name? Is it something Breslin? Abigail Breslin. She was the main character. But great story. I didn't know. Great acting and movie. I'll give it a B minus. Like definitely heavy, but solid watch. Recently my Netflix, because you know how they did the whole like you can't have multiple households thing. It just like randomly like came back on my TV. I don't know why. I just kind of accepted like I'll never watch Netflix again because I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna get your own account?
If my parent like I'm just like whatever. It still worked in my room, but in my living room it didn't.
Yeah.
But then just all of a sudden it's back. So I'm like, oh, like let me check back in on Suits. I've been off for like a couple of months. So I watched a few episodes in season 10 and I'll give it a B minus. I think like a time away from Suits was good. Now I'm like,
yeah, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yes, you just need a little bit of a break.
Yeah, because like it is so formulaic. Like, and I watched 5 seasons in a row. I was like, I've seen it. Like everything's happened, but now I'm like, forgot about these guys. I watched The Sopranos, a couple episodes of season 3 because you guys were talking about that. And
have you ever watched from the beginning?
Yeah. No.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a rewatch. I've watched it many times. I watched 4 and 5 of season 3, and yeah, it's an A. Like,
just a fantastic show.
It's one of the best shows ever. So, and then my last thing was I watched Tyler Perry's Single Moms Club. Which when I was watching it, I thought it was like a new movie, but it came out in 2014.
Did they just put that on Netflix?
Yeah, I think that's
okay.
why.
That's why. Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, and also the girl in it, who is the actress in it, who is in Just Friends, who is the main girl in Just Friends. I've always had like a big crush on her, so I was like, I'll watch this movie. But honestly, when I was watching it, I'm like, this isn't that bad. Like, I'm enjoying this. And then obviously, like, all of his movies get terrible reviews, but like, I'll give it a D plus. But in my heart, it gets like a C plus because it's just like an easy movie to watch. And it is funny how just every movie he has the exact same actors. Like, but yeah, I'll give it a C plus. And honestly, Tyler Perry is like, I feel like an underrated actor. Like he's like a good actor.
Is he underrated?
Good.
I think he is, because people aren't like he's a good, like
I
he
feel
makes
like
these
people
giant
say
movies
he's good.
and he's a director, but like his actual, like in that movie, I'm like, I think Tyler Perry's like putting on the best performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's all I watched this week. So
all right, those are all the things we watched this week. All right, everyone, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. Thank you so much for listening. Reminder, you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, keep subscribing. We love you guys, and we will be back on Wednesday with another episode. So talk to you then. Love you. Bye.